So little Timmy, your precious little beautiful little Timmy is he was born to be a star. Like, he's just a natural. He has a larger than life personality. He's dramatic. He's so cute. And you want to put him in show business, okay? Totally cool. Let's go over how to get your kid in show business. And for the most part, this is gonna be a lot of the same advice when it comes to, you know, what I tell actors who are, or adults who are starting. I would say, you know, it is easier for a child, especially the younger they are, the better. It is easier for a child to break into show business, but I do want to have the touch on the fact that you have to make sure, and I'm reading off my notes here, you have to look at the risks of putting your child in show business and make sure that they truly want to do it, because I've run into a lot of situations where the child doesn't even want to be on set, and it's like their parents are like pressuring them to be there. And just because your child has a larger than life personality, because I know little Timmy is so cute, okay? I know he's so cute. But just because he has a larger than life personality doesn't mean that he's equipped to be on set, or that he's equipped to be in show business. And this is where you have to be honest with yourself and honest with your child's personality, and their tolerance level as to, can they handle being on set 8 hours away from home a day, around people, like complete strangers, someone adjusting lights, someone adjusting the sound, someone, you know, putting a mic on him, like strangers, like not touching him, but strangers like interacting with him. I've worked with a child before who, in the scene, I had to touch him, like I had to like hug him, and in the scene, and like, you know, like touch his shoulders and like hug him and stuff like that. And the child wasn't comfortable, and I had to work, and luckily I'm really good with kids. I had to work to get him to be comfortable with me, because the director wasn't getting through him, and his parents were just telling him like, hey, just do it, she's your mom on set, or whatever, you know, and he just wasn't comfortable. So you have to take these things into consideration. Is your child, is he good with strangers? You know, a child has to be great working on set. Like, they have to be good with strangers, not like be open with everybody, but they have to be good with, you know, chaos happening on set, especially if they're doing commercials and like, or like fast paced like shoots, you know, like chaos happening, their lines changing, and just monitor their stress and see if they can handle being in an unfamiliar environment. And a lot of parents, I find, kind of pass that step. So so understand the risks, understand your child, if they're even built for this in the first place, because just because they have a larger than life personality, if they don't know, if they're throwing tantrums on set because, you know, they're children and they don't like working with strangers, they're uncomfortable, they're away from home for so long, you're gonna have to really take into consideration that, because again, I've run into, for the most part, all the children I've worked with have been great. A lot of times their parents have been the ones that are little divas, but there have been times where like they're throwing tantrums and they're hungry, or, you know, they're just, you know, it's just, you got to be very honest with your child, like, and look at your child objectively, because I know little Timmy, you want little Timmy to be the next Macaulay Culkin, but you have to take these things into consideration. And also make sure you never, as you embark and start this career for your child, please never, ever, ever leave their side. You always, 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 always should be with your child, supervising them at every audition, at every casting call, at every workshop they do, on set. Like, it is mandatory. And you know, I haven't run into a situation where they just leave them to the adults to take care of them, because, you know, it's A, it's not daycare, and B, it's just, you just never know, right? We've seen a lot of child stars suffer the repercussions of, you know, being exploited in the past, or, you know, and, you know, children, there's just so much money to be made with children because of just their innocence, and because of their larger than life personalities, because of all these Disney shows, all these like kids shows, like Baby Shark, dude, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so much money in shows, you know, so I don't really know how to articulate it. You just have to be very careful and always stay supervising your children. Always, always, always stay supervising your children. So with that being said, now that you've had to reflect on that, again, make sure that they actually want to do it. It's not an unmet childhood dream that you're trying to project. Also, get them, so the first beginning step is getting started with a good class. Make sure, and this is a good way to see if your child is fit to be in show business or not, because in this classroom setting, they're going to be with a teacher, they're going to start getting comfortable with them, and then the teacher's going to be able to observe their personality, observe, you know, the type of roles that your kid could be in. And they're also going to be used to working with like different children and different types of children and strangers and stuff who are these, you know, in this classroom environment. And also just so they can learn etiquette, they can learn, you know, how to read, you know, for an audition, and just learning the mechanisms and the skills that is required for being an actor. So always start with classes. Your teachers are going to be your best friend, because they're going to be able to direct you and guide you, you know, just be like kind of like on your back pocket to make sure that, you know, everything that, you know, you embark on is legit, it's safe and protected, and they're going to be able to, they're just going to be a really good mentor and guidance for you. So definitely start getting into some good classes, and also great opportunity to network with other parents and with the teachers and all of that stuff. And also like a lot of these workshops with children and classes with children don't have like cast directors come in, agents come in. So it's a really good, it's the best way to start your child in the profession. So after you find a good class, please make sure you invest in some really good headshots for your child. Go with a professional photographer. Ask around other actor parents or child actor parents, your teachers or his teacher, her teacher. You know, do your research, make sure they're professional. Don't get Miss Mildred, who has a fancy camera next door, to take the photos. I'm telling you guys, it comes off as immature, and you could tell between a good quality headshot and a bad quality headshot, or like a green headshot. So you want to make sure you have headshots handy and ready to go for your child, so you can, you know, either start submitting him to projects and start submitting him to agents, or if an agent is interested in your child or is like, hey, you know, so little Timmy is so great, do you have a headshot or whatever, you know, it's just good to have them handy. A lot of people say wait till after you get a reel. I think you should get headshots as soon as possible, if you're serious, at least. Agencies. So I find like I would usually say like, oh, just wait on the whole. With actors, I would, like adults, I would say wait until you've started building a reel and you've submitted to student films and you did theater and have acting experience and some resume or some credits on your resume, just then submit to agencies. With children, again, as I said earlier, there's a lot of leeway because they're children and because they tend to have like already a larger than life personality, and they're just, you know, by default, they're just genuinely good when they're little. So there's a lot of leeway. After you get your headshots and you have him in classes or her in classes, please, start submitting to agencies. But I would also say at the same time, simultaneously, also, if you can, because I've met child actors who had no experience and they were able to sign with an agency, like immediately almost. But I would also say it doesn't hurt for your child to do theater and for to submit them to legitimate, safe, do your research, safe, like indie projects, short films, anything that's going to you know, give you a reel. It doesn't hurt. Or at least if you don't want to go that route, you can do what I did, which is, you know, after so many unsuccessful films that I was doing, like student and low budget or indie projects, I wasn't getting a good quality reel, so I just hired a production company to do a reel, like a couple scenes for me. It was an investment. I think I paid like for like 3 scenes, it was like $700 or something like that. But the payoff, it may have been a little bit more, but the payoff, you know, like I got my investment back plus so much more because I signed with my current agency. So that's a really good route and a safer route as well if you want to do that. But for the most part, I find that agencies are just a lot more lenient with children just because they're children. You know what I mean? But if you want to simultaneously, while you're doing that, also work on getting a reel for your child and getting him experience of working on set, whether it be on theater, on a student project, by all means, definitely go for it. Also, from an indie point of view, children are hard to cast. So when they're able to cast a child, it's like the lottery, because just, you know, a lot of parents, rightfully so, are very worried about children not working on a professional set. By all means, I say just be very, very, very careful. Never leave your child's side, and do your research. Ask around other friends if they've worked with this production company, with these people, with this school, and go from there. Listen to your gut. Your child's safety and your safety is above all else the most important. But ultimately, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say about children being starting the career, because there's just the world is our oyster, and if I find anything or have any other advice from other people, I would definitely let you know. But for the most part, it's just that's how you get started with show business. Now, when it comes to like managing a child career and all of that stuff, that I can't really speak on, but that's pretty much how you get your child started with an acting career. I really don't have anything else to say. Wait, one more thing. I knew it. Beware of scams. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is a whole other discussion. I already went a little over, but please, for the love of God, beware of scams, parents. I'm so sorry. I should have mentioned this at the very beginning. Please, never, okay. The amount of parents I've seen fall for this, just because I feel like parents are more vulnerable because they want to see their child be in that trailer and have that cool, like, celebrity experience. And it's an ego boost, let's be real. But please, for the love of God, you will never, ever, 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 ever have to pay up front for your child to be represented by an agent or a manager or get on a show like a whatever, like Netflix or Blumhouse, or Blumhouse is like thriller suspense, but like you get what I'm saying, Netflix, the CW, whatever. Never. The only time, parents, seriously listen to me, because the amount of parents I run into that fall for these scams, it's really sad. It's really, really sad and disheartening. You will never have to pay for your child to be represented by an agent or a talent manager or a casting call, okay? If you have an agent or a manager, sometimes they will send them the casting calls for free, okay? To be seen by casting directors. There's so many scams. Remember those radio shows when they were like, be on a Disney show, a casting call for a big Disney show, and this, you guys, from what I've heard, you pay like this large amount of money to these random people, and they literally sometimes will put you as an extra in the show. We're not, no. We're not trying to be extras. We're trying to be actors, okay? Please, guys, never ever pay up front for anything, especially for your child, Everything that the child will book is the agent or the manager is going to get 10%. Casting calls and auditions are free through the agents and managers. Never ever pay up front. Seriously, listen to your gut. Don't go to these random casting calls, or unless it's sent by your agent or manager and they giving you the green light. But there's just so many scams on parents, and unfortunately they fall for it a lot of times because they want to see their child be stars. But seriously, the key thing, never, ever, ever pay for anything up front. If they're like, I want to offer you this role, but you have to pay, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's 2023. This inflation ain't going nowhere. We don't have time to be scammed. So never pay. Everything is done through commission by your agent and manager. You don't pay to get with an agent or manager. That is the key thing. If there's anything you learned from this video, please let that be it. All right. I went overboard. Let me know what you guys think. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.